That was a bit unexpected, folks. Leicester, away win over Stade Français. Drama at the death, yellow card. Hat trick of tries to a hooker. Chip and chase from own 22. Craziness in this game. We'll go through some key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. But yeah, Leicester changed a bunch of players and were underdogs for this one. But pull off a second win in as many weeks in the Champions Cup and have set themselves up pretty nicely going forward in this competition. Premiership teams seem to be doing all right. First scrum penalty and the second one as well went Leicester's way. That was a happy way for them to start the game. Interestingly, when they got these penalties, the vast majority of the time they were opting for touch. They were going for the jugular. Maybe they'd identified something. Area of advantage they figured going up against the Stade Francais boys. Well, they went for a maul. It went over that man Archie Vaines, first of 3 tries, 2 of them coming from mauls. He gets his first, 7 points to 0. But Leicester, kind of soft offside penalty conceded, a no arms tackle penalty conceded, gives Stade Francais a nice bit of field position. 5 metre scrum, advantage again, 5 metre scrum. And then that number 8, Irigoyen, is able to go over. Basically, it just peeled off the scrum. Was one man out from where the scrum had been. And they're able to pop the ball to him. So great wee try, great way to hit back. Offload from the scrum half, so 7 points apiece. Bit of a ding-dong battle thus far. TMO had to check a Atkinson attempted charge down. And he ends up getting yellow carded, does old Atkinson. I think he's probably got the ref to thank for not getting a different colour of card, because Atkinson's trying to charge the ball down. He's in the air, clatters into the Stade Français winger, and he just doesn't have control of himself. I've seen loads of guys get carded for this kind of thing in recent years. The ref says the majority of the contact goes through the shoulder. The TMO keeps saying that there is head contact, but the ref is not really having a bar of it. He basically just goes with that majority of the contact through the body thing. And despite the cries of the other officials, he ends up with just a yellow. I think that's the right call, because you've genuinely seen other times where guys get really up in the air and they get like knee-to-head contact. This wasn't quite like that. He wasn't as high as some of those other guys have jumped in the past. So, still, yellow card. What can Stade Français do during this yellow card? Well, the truth is, not a lot. They get a chance against, 14 men. 5 metre line out, they set the maul, but they've got obstruction, so it's a soft exit for the Leicester boys. And then when they've got a scrum attacking play, Marchant passes it to a support runner, but the pass just drifts forward. So a couple of let-offs for the Leicester guys. Stade Français not really clinical during the yellow card. Their best chance of the game during the yellow card period comes from a cross kick from Segons to Laloy. And Watson's able to make a decent covering tackle on that one. So the yellow card is over. No damage is done. So the Stade Français boys, given the scoreline, will be disappointed with how that period of the game kind of got away from them. There was a lot of box kicking from the Leicester boys. Struggled to get out of their own half towards the latter period of that first half. The kicking stalemate was broken when Solomon Akata gave away a penalty at the breakdown, which Stade Français opted to kick at poles, which they got. So led the game 10 points to 3, but right before half time, one of the first times since the early part of the game that Leicester had actually been down Stade Francais' end. Leicester went through a load of phases, including that man Kata, who had a couple of big carries. They had advantage. They didn't opt for a 3. They went for touch. They mauled it, and that man Archie Vaines went over for a second try of the game. So 14 points to 10, good bit of ambitious play from Leicester to take the most of that opportunity, given that they hadn't had a lot of time down Stade Français' end, as I say, in that first half, especially the second kind of 20 minutes. So possession finishes 56-44 to Leicester, but their territory is only 46%. So they've got a lot of ball, but down the wrong end of the field. Kicks from hand is 26-30, which in some games would be the grand total of kicks. We're only talking at 40 minutes of rugby, so there's a lot of boot to ball in that first half. Run meters 151 to 168, kind of on the lower side. But then second half, goodness gracious me, it starts with an absolute bang. Stade Français, they've got a big maul. And that man Irigoyen, again, the number 8, he frees his arms somehow from the middle of the maul, passes it to the scrum half. What's his name? Zabala. Excuse me, I've got bad handwriting, I can't read his name. And then, sets up a 2-on-1. to Laloy. So, yeah, he's able to go over 2-on-1 against Mike Brown. Mike Brown's never stopping that. Boomfa, great try. 17-14. Stade Français back in front, seemingly kind of out of nowhere. I mean, that wasn't the best try of the game. I think the Barret one on 61 is probably the best try, but it was pretty bloody sweet the way he got his arms free during that maul. Interestingly, Leicester on 46 had a penalty literally right in front of the post, 5 metres out, but opted to go for touch. But Shilcock ended up kicking that one dead. I guess guys aren't used to kicking directly parallel to the goal line 5 metres out. So, yeah, just didn't quite get that one right. Missed opportunity. Makalu won a penalty at the breakdown for his team. Barret then followed it up with kicking the ball out on the full a few minutes later. So, not able to kind of get full flow into the game. Mike Brown had a line break down the left wing. The forwards went close range. Joe Hayes got held up. They had advantage. They were able to go back for touch. And guess what? They went for a maul. Leicester Tigers went for a maul, but the maul was short this time. Advantage phases, and we do get the hat-trick try through Veins. So he couldn't even get off the bench last week, and he steps up for a hat-trick in this one. So 21-17. One try away from a bonus point, but neither side will be able to get it. Solomon Akata wins another penalty at the breakdown. Leicester, interestingly, at this point, changed tack and start opting for threes. So 24-17. Stade Français bring the changes to bring on some forwards. And then we get maybe the most ambitious player of the game. It's that fullback, Leo Barret, who I said in the preview I was looking forward to have a run. Well, he finally had a run. It took an hour, but he had a run, man. I mean, the Stade Français boys had kind of taken the ball back into their own 22. So he was in a little bit of an awkward position where he didn't want to kick long. So he just chipped it over the top. There was heaps of space there. He regathers it and absolutely puts the gas down. It's an individual wonder try bit of magic. So 24 points apiece. Try of the game. He tries it a bit later when they are chasing the game, but he kind of cops a little bit of a trip. So he's not able to get the second time done, but he made it look bloody easy that first time. 65 minutes, more ambitious again from Stade Français. They are running it again. This time they knock it on, though, and that is the risk because that concedes. The knock-on becomes a scrum. The scrum is a Leicester penalty. Leicester opt for it, so it's 27-24. So sometimes you can see why teams don't always go 100% ambitious because if you make a mistake, you can concede points. So 27-24, that's the final score, and we've still got 15 minutes to play. Leicester conceded a few penalties, but their maul defence stopped the Stade Français attack. But then after a few resets, the scrum ended up going Stade Français' way in terms of getting a penalty, but they opted not to go for the draw. They wanted to go for the win. They mauled it and eventually got held up. I think it was that man Harry Wells, a big part of stopping that one. Barret tried that trip and chase again, but again, not this time. 79 minutes, Makalu has a big break down the left wing. And then they had the chance to win it. Like, if Stade Français fans are angry about their decision not to take the shot, or they're angry about the trip on Barret, which the ref ruled was accidental, you can't be mad because they had the winning of the game when the cross kick went to Etienne. He was pretty much unmarked out on the right wing with the goal line a couple of meters away from him, and he just dropped it cold. Winning and losing of the game right there. The game wasn't done because Mike Brown gets yellow carded for a deliberate knock-on. But then later on, there's this weird moment where Stade Français are pushing it forward with a maul. It looks like it might be going to get held up. A second ball randomly appears on the field. I'm not sure who chucked that on. Liebenberg wants the end of the game because of the second ball, but the ref says he can't. He doesn't want to, basically. It's not fair to end the game on a second ball being on the pitch. I guess he's worried about a bit of a nefarious reason for the ball coming on the pitch, so he rules it to the scrum. But, Stade Français unable to get it done. Wells wins the game with another bit of breakdown magic. So, 27-24. What a crazy game. I got up. This game was on at 6:30 in the morning, and I was thinking this is just going to be Monday morning for me here at NZ. This is just going to be one where Leicester send a B team, and they'll maybe put up a fight for a wee while, but they'll end up losing it. But nah, pretty crazy, dramatic finish. Leeds Stade Français in a really tough spot in the new year when they got to go to Leinster. Leicester have got to go to La Rochelle. So, tough times. But possession finishes 47-53 to the Tigers. Territory 51-49 to the Tigers. Run meters 361 to 304. not the highest, but Stade Français had 7 clean breaks to 3, 34 defenders beaten to 16. So you might think, why didn't they win the game? Well, Leicester, 7 turnovers won to Stade Français 2. Barret had 96 metres, the vast majority in that length of the field, 1 to try. Atkinson 63 and 5 defenders beaten. Barret also beat 6 defenders. Makalug also beat 6 defenders despite copping a pretty nasty hit to the family jewels. Passanti had 20 tackles. Matt Rogerson had 14. Harry Wells won a couple of turnovers. Interesting game. You guys let us know your thoughts. How did you think it went? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.